Hello and welcome to Breakfast Central. Friday it is, and we are back on the air. Yes, like I always say, like we never left. Hope you're doing great. Hope you had a wonderful night rest. Some parts of the country, people say they don't like hearing, hope, how was your night?
It was dark and
Bing,
lovely.
how was your night?
It was dark and lovely, yes, because you sleep in the night, you have a sound sleep, and it's dark, the lights are out, and you sleep. So it's good to be here. Welcome to Breakfast Central. My name is Benga Aborowa. Joe, you sounded a bit too excited. Is it because it's Friday? Are you trying to tell the viewers that you are happy that it's the weekend and you won't see them for 2 days? It's not nice.
Benga, let me say this here. I'm always sad whenever it's Friday.
Yeah.
I'm very sad. Right now, I'm sad. I'm sad because...
Why are you sad?
I'm going to... this is the last episode for this week and the month. And I'm not happy. Benga, because I want us to increase Olive. I'm thinking of us increasing.
No, don't say it, please. It's okay.
I agree with him.
It's okay. Let's not.
And I think they should also cancel leave. We should do this show 365.
I don't know who these men
We're
are.
passionate about what we do.
We love what we do.
What they're saying do not represent the interest of myself or majority of us here at News Central Television. Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Olive, how was your night?
My night was good.
Was it dark and lovely?
It was soft and beautiful, and it was okay. That thing, I don't know why people take offense in it. Now, who they are like that they ask how was your night?
Okay.
I don't find it offensive.
Please,
I don't know why people find it
another
offensive.
thing I don't want is tomorrow is the beginning of a new month.
Happy New
Don't send me
Month.
Happy New Month.
You
I
get
have calendar.
You get 12 midnight. You must
The banks love you.
You must receive the Happy New Month.
No, banks. I don't think banks do it.
Anyway,
it's your
some
birthday.
banks used to do it. They just stay on the birthdays only, but they used to do it.
But they should be gifting us for birthdays.
it's obviously my favorite day of the week for obvious reasons. But today's Friday is a soft and mellow Friday because energy levels, we're trying to kick them up. A lot has happened in the past 24 hours. We're talking about it. There's been a one-woman protest that has been in the news. She's gotten her bill. Her bill has been approved by the magistrate. We'll talk about that. And there's still accusations being leveled against the Minister of Works. But so much really has happened in the past 24 hours, and it's our duty to bring it to you here on Breakfast Central. My name is Olive Emode. We're streaming live on YouTube. And YouTube is very important because that's where we take your comments, your contributions, and your objections as well are very welcome. News Central TV Live is where we're streaming on YouTube. Joe, you want to tell us
I just wanted to say
how the roads were this morning? I know you applied for the first time.
In a long while.
Forever, the Aja Lekki Ekpe Express.
Yes.
How was it?
Yes, it was just there.
You don't feel like
No potholes. Are there road markings?
So they've abandoned from Aja down to. They just started the work from Chevron.
Oh,
Really
I thought it
after
was up
Chevron.
until Aja.
No, they
No,
said
for
Aja
now.
is later.
Okay.
Then from Chevron all the way to, of course,
Lekki Phase 1?
Lekki Phase 1.
Did
And
they
all,
do
only
both
on one
sides?
side. No, just one side.
Oh, one side.
Just
So
one
why the excitement? The governor put up
The
an
government put
Instagram
up on,
post.
it's just one side.
And they haven't even done the road markings. They're not complete. And the environment
There's
is
no road markings.
The environment is dirty. There's grass in the middle
Exactly.
of the road. We need to start standardizing things.
I had to ask
So I was
because
asking,
we saw
what's
the
the stand?
celebration yesterday, and I'm just thinking, okay, since you applied the role yesterday, what's the state of things today? Let's know. But it's very important that we continue to talk about these things because it caused a huge inconvenience for those roads to be shut at different points. Traffic the past few weeks have been hellish for those who live on the island. So we want to see the dividends of what has been done. But I haven't seen them personally, so I cannot speak to it. That's why I was asking.
And it's an ongoing project. I think maybe we should wait
They're
till
in
they
tranches.
finish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to other issues now. The Senate Committee on Electoral Matters has recommended an additional 30 billion for the Independent National Electoral
30
Commission.
BG.
30 BG for the account, yo.
Raising the budget from 873.78 billion to 903.78 billion. When I saw The Guardian reporting this, I really like the editor of The Guardian. I don't know who that person is. The person said it smacks of religious... I need to look for it. I'll look for it before we finish this story. But this Lawmakers have said that this boost will strengthen logistics and operational capacity ahead of the 2027 general
They
elections.
should round it up to 1 trillion. The 97 billion, they should increase the salary of the ad hoc staff, the NM.
They should also do a round
NYSC,
figure.
round figure. Round it up
Makes
to
sense.
1 trillion.
Anyway.
And yet you can. Olive, don't read this story.
No, I have to. I have to let our audience
Yet
know.
you cannot do real-time
You can't do real-time transmission. You're collecting 1 trillion naira.
We have to let our audience know. That
Yet
President Bola
you are
Tinubu,
still uploading mutilated sheets.
Sheets.
He hosted senators to a closed-door Ramadan iftar at the presidential villa in
Again?
Abuja. The gathering blended religious
senators
observance
is that.
with quiet political consultation, coming just 2 days after a similar meeting with state governors. That's what Benga said again. Now in Lagos, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Lisa Agbakoba, renewed calls for urgent electoral reforms, stressing that electronic transmission of results must be expressly backed by law to safeguard integrity, and in a sharp intervention from former INEC National Commissioner Festus Okoye dismissed concerns about poor network coverage,
Would they have said
insisting every polling unit in Nigeria has internet access. He emphasized that INEC devices can store results offline and automatically transmit them once connectivity is restored. Is this not what we're saying?
I agree with
Is
Mr.
this not the
Festus
same
Okoye,
thing?
but has the ship not sailed for Mr. Festus Okoye and Olisa Agbakoba?
Mr. Festus Okoye, I think it was a bit surprising because during the elections at that time, you had gone on many shows,
Yeah,
including ours,
as an insider.
you know, and had given us a lot of assurances. So when we started seeing, he was also part of the people that came to tell us about the glitches, the technical glitches. So I don't understand, you know, many are wondering why he's speaking a lot more now that he's not at the seat, in the seat of power. You know, it's anyway.
And also, it seems, Mr. President, I mean, this Ramadan, he's fraternizing with governors. This time around is with senators. When is he going to sit down with journalists to
And the
have
people.
iftar?
And the people. And the people, Benga. When
That's
is he
a
going to
good
have
question.
Yes.
a press
Yes,
briefing?
people would meet the president.
It's turn by turn. State governors was first, senators was 2 days later. So maybe along the line, he can't sit
Assembly,
with
House of
everybody. So
Assembly.
it's step by step. Everybody,
Of
wait
each
your
state,
turn. It will
36
touch
states.
everybody. I really did want to.
But let me also say this here, in case our viewers don't understand what we're saying here. INEC is asking for an extra 30 BG from 873 billion naira. INEC is saying add 30 billion on top.
Did they ask, or the Senate is giving them? Because
Senate is
sometimes the
saying-
Senate used to be
Senate,
Father Christmas.
the Senate
Remember
is-
the
yes,
State
the-
House
Yes.
people, when they came, they said, no, it's not worthy of us, so give them more money.
Yes. And this is coming on the heels that INEC has rescheduled the election date. Those who were thinking it was going to start February, they've moved it now to January.
Because of Ramadan.
Yes, so January 16, a presidential election will hold, and then February 6, you have governorship and state assembly, House of Assembly will hold. So January 16, February 6.
It's too early though.
They might have to move it again.
No.
Like
because
it's too early in the
there's
year.
even AFCON.
We're just starting the year, next
No,
in
what's it
election.
concerned? INEC with
AFCON.
AFCON now.
People like to watch football.
No,
I beg. January is when I don't like to be around,
I think the problem
though.
is this 30 BG they're asking for. I don't understand why INEC is asking. The question I want, wait, hold on. Didn't INEC do
Their
their
homework.
internal audit and calculation and memo?
Good.
They did all of that. They took their time to, in short, Professor George Amukwita took time, I like to call that his surname, Amukwita, you know, the N is silent, took time to look at this internally. All of a sudden, the House of Assembly says, you know what, you just need 30 billion to add so that you can do more logistics. I'm wondering, so we're wrapping it up to 900 and something billion. And like Benga said, just make it 1 trillion. But the biggest question is, in all of this money you're collecting, over 260 million Nigerians, a country that is highly sophisticated and most watched and most celebrated when it comes to technology across Africa and also part of the world.
Yeah, look at our banking system.
You are now saying
Instant
that
payment.
after we collected that heavy money,
We
no
can't.
vex, so we will not transmit live. What happened to transmission room? Third Mainland Bridge gulped how much, Benga, again? You said you call
$22
it
million.
$22
$40
million.
billion.
That's how much?
40 billion. naira.
40 billion to do a monitoring
11
room.
kilometers.
Okay, so collect this 30 BG now and use it to set up the real-time monitoring point of correction. And just to make matters clear, what we're saying here as journalists and those who are following this story is that You cannot collect so much money
and give little.
To whom much
It's
is
not
given,
balanced.
much is expected.
And also, let me remind us that the day we did a deep dive and breakdown of INEC's budget, there were ridiculous line items that should have gone for further scrutiny.
Like the
for
health
example,
one.
like miscellaneous.
What was
miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous running into billions. Is that not going to be a conduit for corruption if you're not going to account for it? How did you arrive at that miscellaneous
So I'm going to
that runs into
I'm going to also toe the line.
And then on top of that, you give them extra 30
So what's 30 billion for?
Logistics, to ensure that there is no logistical
Guys, if
issue.
I don't come to this work on Monday, just
don't
know
go
that
by
I've
phone.
joined INEC, multi-D election officer, because there's money there.
So the thing is, I want to toe the line of Joe as well, right? First of all, how have we done? How have we fared with budget implementation when it comes to electoral matters in the past years? Can we go back to look at 2023 election and see the implementation of that budget? What was dispensed? How was it dispensed? Has there been a thorough vetting of the monies that were released for the 2023 elections? It's something that we see happen across board, not just with INEC, but with state governors, with the presidents. We don't see a follow-up. We don't see budget performance reviews to see how well we fared with that budget. So if we do not know how well we fared with the 2023 budget, we're going to repeat the same mistakes we made in 2023 in 2027. That's one. Two, did INEC not do enough diligence before, just like Joe spoke about, before coming to defend their budget? How come it is now the Senate that Senate's Committee on Electoral Matters that says, oh no, you need extra 30 billion. This one is not enough for you. Did they not do a thorough enough job? Do we not have the right hands there that would have been able to present the budget? It's just like in my family or in Joe's family, Joe knows how the family is being run. Is it me that will come and advise Joe, no, remove this, add more money to this one, add more money to that? Something seems to be missing there. But above all, the most important thing is that Nigerians have complained election year in, election year out, about the quality of the elections that we offer. And it's an important conversation to have, because the quality of any country's democracy is rated by how the country perceives their election to be free, fair, and credible. And the majority of Nigerians don't seem to align with a huge number, let me not call it majority, a huge number of Nigerians don't seem to be able to align with the quality of elections that we currently offer, where we're thinking that MKO's election is the most free, fair, and election that we've ever had, and yet we're in 2026. So is INEC guaranteeing us that if they get this extra 30 billion, even with the one that was allocated before, that the elections will be free, fair, and credible? And if the elections are on the face of it not seem to be free, fair, and credible, whose head will roll?
I mean, it's one thing to throw money at something. It's another thing to use the money judiciously. It'll be nice to know where the National Assembly saw the gaps and where they believe this extra 30 billion should go to.
And where is the money coming from?
Where is the money coming from?
Where's the money coming from?
Taxpayers' money.
Yeah, they say logistics.
Is it in terms of, it's
said
logistics?
yes,
Logistics was already
in that
the budget.
Maybe the
and then
logistics
is
was
wide. I
enough.
mean, they need to give us specifics.
Binga,
Because what is the point of doing an almost 1 trillion naira elections if you're not going to guarantee safety? If the turnout is going to be low, you need voter education. You need, if you're not going to guarantee the freeness and fairness of the elections, what's the point of spending almost 1 trillion?
So let me read a few of the things. So they said the Senate's committee suggestion to top this up by 30 billion reflects an acknowledgement that, one, Nigeria's election spans thousands of polling units nationwide, including remote and hard-to-reach areas, requiring transport, security, and personnel costs. Two, the cost of printing and distributing PVCs, transporting election materials, hiring and training ad hoc staff, and deploying technology infrastructure is rising. So at the end of the day, they're trying to ensure that INEC does not have a reason to come and say that they can't deliver the mandate of free, fair, and credible elections. But we've been talking enough. We need to take what Nigerians are saying.
Go on. That's what I said.
Let's quickly head. But while we're at it, go on YouTube. We're streaming live, News Central TV live. Go on YouTube and drop your comments about, what you think about the Senate Committee on Electoral Matters proposing 30 billion extra for INEC. But let's head to X quickly and see what Nigerians are saying about this on X.
Reboot Nigeria says Mahmoud's INEC used over 300 billion naira to conduct an election that produced these results. The new INEC chairman, Amopita, no, it's not Amopita. Joe, could you please correct him?
Amopita.
Thank you so much. Amopita is demanding 1 trillion naira, almost 1 trillion, to conduct another election that will produce more mutilated election result sheets. Nigeria is not a country, but a planet on its own. Geographically, that is wrong. Nigeria is a country, not a planet, but I get your drift. Abiola Oshodi says, INEC keeps demanding billions while Nigerians keep getting sham elections. What changed since the last cycle that suddenly justifies extra billions again? We haven't forgotten how under Mahmoud over 300 billion naira was spent and Nigerians still got a process many calls deeply flawed. It's a 3-time increase. I mean, times 3.
Times 3. If you minus that, it's
Bjorn Ironsid says, for elections we're not even proud of, then go still do wayo. No transmit result. Why can't we release this type of money for education or health sector every 4 years? If we don't make good money by now, it has a point there. Dafe Oyufa says, India and Brazil, with bigger populations in geographical size than Nigeria, uses less funds to conduct their credible general elections. I mean, India has a population of 1.5 billion people. So I need to fact check that. You know, I tend to doubt that. But what's so peculiar with Nigeria's general elections that warrants the use of this amount, says Dafe Oyufa. Seraph Sachs says all the money is only to write election results with biro. He's referring to the mutilated sheets. Toba Truth says, please give them the national treasury. Exactly, take everything.
Benga, I just want to say this. I just want to say this very quickly. I think Nigerians should resist this 30 billion. Nigerians should resist it. And it's so sad that Nigerians may resist it. The Senate will still pass it.
I mean, it's too late.
Remember
that
the issue
ship has sailed. Yeah.
So they should resist it.
I think what they can do now is to demand for very credible elections and, you know, safeguard their democracy.
Who go demand for credible elections?
All of us.
Okay. No, I'm going to say this. Why I'm saying they should resist it. The educational sector was begging for payment of lecturers. We didn't get. The doctors were crying on strike. If you put 30 billion consistently in the educational sector or health sector, you see an improvement. Secondly, I just want to remind people that the statement of we're going to do good, we're going to fix roads for you, we're going to provide you this, those statements no longer work. So there's a new style now. There are 3 national projects that continue to gulp money.
Coastal Road,
Ajaokuta Steel, the 4 refineries. The 4 refineries, only something trillion that was spent on it has not been seen or recovered. NNPC's 210 trillion cannot be found. So much money. Let them go and borrow the 30 billion from the NNPC's 210 trillion.
NNPC is too far.
Bureaucracy in
Just
Nigeria.
go there and get the money. Why
the cost of, running a democracy.
Okay.
You know, you have 36 states. They have state house of assemblies.
Okay.
I mean, they draw billions of naira in budgets. They need to, we might have to look at the entire structure.
I agree.
Because maybe part-time lawmakers go for a parliamentary system where ministers are also part of the legislature. Just rejig it, because, we can't afford, we're living beyond our means, and we're borrowing a lot of money it's fake life. Because if ordinary Nigerians, you have hundreds of millions of Nigerians that can form several countries living in multidimensional poverty. Okay. The ruling class lifestyle does not reflect it. So we need to
let's quickly take YouTube comments so we can go to our second story. Stanley Amadi says, sometimes it appears the budget is really padded. A Senate committee awarding extra 30 billion naira is suggestive of some persons adding their cuts or kickbacks, depending on what you would like to do.
In the name of logistics.
Prince Ajibade says, is the Nigerian Senate now a department of INEC? Because I'm not understanding this. I think INEC should just go and hand over the certificate of return to Tinubu on Monday, and let's wait for 2031. INEC gave you a budget. You're adding an extra 30 billion that they didn't ask for.
Get it.
What is it with this Akpabio-led Senate? Are they bewitched?
It's based on logistics.
Sonny Ibe says, them suppose first Nigeria. 1 trillion for election that has already been concluded before conducted. The wages of sin is Nigeria.
So another thing I want to point out is this defeatist mentality from the comments. I mean, I understand, and it's based on reoccurring incidents. But let's not, I mean, it hasn't happened. It's still in January. We have a lot of time. But how can you say, you know, the elections have been concluded, they already have the results?
I understand people's frustration.
Defeatist, it's a smacks of a sense of hopelessness. You have life. There's a lot you can do. You can mobilize. You have brains. You can put yourselves together and say, look, we're tired of this. Because when you, I mean, why don't you just give up and let them...
Can I say that two truths can coexist? Everything you've said, I agree with, that people should not give up. But I also understand the sense of hopelessness, because they're judging from the reality of what they're seeing. They're judging from the fact that last election...
They're not powerless. They're not.
I agree that the people are not powerless, but I can understand and empathize with the sense of hopelessness is what
two truths can exist.
Exactly. Let's move on to our next story. Businesswoman Mrs. Tresinata Nicholas Ohiri, who was picked up 3 days ago, met with the Minister of Works, David Umahi, at the police force headquarters 2 days ago, where activist Omoyele Sowore confronted the minister over alleged oppression, has been granted bail. Yesterday, she was granted bail. She pleaded not guilty to a defamation charge and was admitted to bail. And those are the clips that you're seeing there. This bail was granted in the sum of 1 million naira with 2 sureties required to present verifiable addresses and utility bill evidence, one of whom is Omoyele Sowore. Her counsel, Abubakar Marshall, argued that her detention beyond 48 hours violated constitutional rights under Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution, stressing that the alleged offense is bailable under the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, while assuring the court she would not obstruct investigations as the matter proceeds to trial. Let's listen to what she had to say.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. Only president we know.
Stay strong.
Yes. David Umahi, pay me my money. I'm not afraid of you. You can lie all you want. David, you must pay me my money. I supplied goods to you, directly to you. You woke me up 5 a.m. in the morning.
You should also ask
and asked me.
Goods and services.
Yes, goods and services. I brought it to your house in Abakaleke. Yes, you know me very, very well. Just because you asked to date me and I said no, you turned it upside down. Sir, you will give me my money. They said you're an honorable minister. David Umahi, there is nothing honorable about you. And you are using police to oppress me. The only police officer that has been nice to me since I came to Abuja is one Maya, Ilya, and one Mr. Ali. The rest are so wicked and mean. The one that is my IPO always call David and his PA to give them information. And he will be asking her different questions. If I'm weak, if I'm broken, I can never be broken. Yes. David, I can never be broken. You pay me my money. I will press your neck. Yes. You cannot lie that you have not met me. And Fakorode is your boy. Frank and Ba and Fakorode is your boy. In the cell where I slept last night, there are 4 men from Ebonyi State. Fakorode brought them all the way from Ebonyi State and locked them up on the instruction of David Umahi. How long will this continue, Nigerians? Yes. This is so painful. David continue to oppress women. What did I do to David? I'm only a woman who is working so hard legally to feed her children and her family. What did I do wrong? By answering you and working for you without mobilization. David, pay me my money. I want all right-thinking men and women, God-fearing men and women all over the world to stand up for justice. Yes. David is owing me, and I need my money paid with interest because 12 years is not 12 months. Yes. God bless you all. God bless you all. Right now, the initial money is 25.4, but today, the money that David is owing me with interest is worth over 304 million. God bless Nigeria. Yes. God bless you all. Thank you.
Let's show you to the world.
This is my president.
Okay, so that's the story. We'll keep showing you the footage there. That footage, the final footage you saw there while they were working, Olive, the policemen tried coming to grab her again. Even though the court had granted her bail, the police officers came again and tried to arrest her,
so
lock her up.
There was a lot of extra drama.
Yeah, so she'll spend the weekend in prison.
So that's the problem. You know, with the way that we practice our justice here, it's a bit scary that the court can say one thing and the law enforcement agents will choose to do another thing, and nobody will sue them for contempt of court. There are ways in which these manners, you know, or there are manners in which these things are being handled. If the court has granted her bail, allow her perfect the bill. Which one is rushing to treat her like a criminal?
They were almost going to take her to Nasarawa State yesterday.
Nasarawa State,
for the intervention of
and she made an expose that there are 4 other people that were picked up allegedly by the current minister all the way from the state and brought to Abuja to be locked up.
The court, the magistrate court, is undergoing some renovation. Today is Friday, and there are possibilities that they might not sit because they couldn't get the signature of the magistrate yesterday. Her case file disappeared. Just out of the blue. All this drama just to keep her in prison
over the course of the weekend.
All of a sudden, case files.
And in other crimes, just based on accusations, yesterday the head of the CEO of Davos, of the what's it called, World Economic Forum Davos, resigned based on being in the Epstein files. And being mentioned in the Epstein files does not mean you have committed any crime. Just the shame of it.
That you are associated with that person.
You are associated with it.
Shame is not a currency.
Lord Mandelson, the former UK ambassador to the United States, also resigned, tendered his resignation. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom had to apologize for appointing him in the first place. You know, you don't even have to be guilty. Just the fact that such a dirty person and just such a dirty accusation has been labeled against your person, and they know that you are in a position of authority and there might be the possibility of abuse of office. So in order to be fair, you are advised to resign temporarily or step aside while investigations are ongoing. I mean, you even look at the party, the APC leadership, Mr. President. It's an embarrassment to his government. And I mean, I'm not saying the woman is right, but just for the time being.
This is not the only woman being.
And it's not. She's not the only woman
coming out. And why is it that it's always women alleging? If it's what, like they always say, if one person says something about you, not certain. 2.
There's no fire without a
3,
smoke.
4. Are you sure? And this is happening concurrently and consistently. My worry is the fact that, and I want to say this, what we have, like many of our guests have said, and some people have said too, we have people who occupy offices.
And think they'll be there forever. Yeah.
Why would I say so? The reason why we say so is because, one, if issues like this are happening, you've mentioned it already, that's where you come down from your high horse. You tender your resignation, but in Nigeria, it will never happen. You'll never see a leader tender his resignation.
Even the man that was caught red-handed, that said he went to UNN, the former Minister of Science and Technology, he had to resign with pride.
Yes, and
you know, he was still very combative, and they didn't think he did.
You know what that tells us? It tells us that we don't really worry about the quality of a person's reputation in Nigeria, that your reputation doesn't really amount to much. You can have the worst reputation and ascend to the highest position. Just have money, have influence, have connections. People's attention span is really short, where you know they quickly move on and they forget who hasn't seen should throw the first stone. And I completely told the line of Benga where such strong allegations against you as a public figure, at least step aside and then sit on the neck of law enforcement to carry out the investigation, so that if your hands are clean, you'll be exonerated and reinstated to office. And the person who fabricated those lies against you will have their day in court, right? We need to get to that point. But then again, I'd also like to speak to the mode of administration of criminal justice, which is unfair and extrajudicial. You don't pick up people from one state. They are caught in a Ebonyi state. If those allegations are correct, they are caught in a Ebonyi state. Why did you have to move them to Abuja?
And the transaction happened in Ebonyi state. She said she went to his house in Abakaliki.
So why do you have to move them to Abuja? In Abuja, that they are renovating a number of the courts. Some of the courts don't even sit. I know of one of the courts where they sit for just 2 hours every day, because you go to the court and there are structures, there are pillars, you are hearing the sound of the hammer and the nail. So they can't really see. There are no fans. It's hot in a number of them that are being renovated. So it's really just unfortunate that this is where our
You
criminal
also missed that
justice
one
system
point
is.
where powerful individuals and persons, VIPs,
Yeah.
can unduly use the police to serve their interests.
Yeah.
And to add more pressure and punish people.
She said
I mean,
that
it's
I get the sense that in all of this, with the hope of them trying to hold her back and keep her throughout the weekend, it's just aiming at one thing, to break her spirit, which she alluded to. By the time you stay in prison for a weekend, you're probably disoriented, you just need to get back to your family, and then you decide, you know what, this is not worth my peace, I need to get back to my family. But like she said there, she said she had information that they had been calling to check on her to find out if her spirit is broken. But it's really, really sad. I'll take comments on YouTube, but let's get to X and see what Nigerians are saying about the case on social media. Joseph Ibe says, in any serious society, a minister hit with allegations like this will step aside. Exactly. Will step aside without hesitation. That is the baseline for accountability. Not a favor, not a suggestion, but a standard. Instead, the accuser is locked up while the accused moves around, draped in the title of honorable. They may think silencing one voice will quiet the outrage. It won't. Public anger does not evaporate. It builds, it hardens, and one day, the same people watching in silence will demand answers for the many misdeeds of these so-called elected few. I want to believe that, but we saw that with the Chioma case. I don't even know what has become of Chioma.
Yeah, there's an update. She has been granted, I think she was granted, there's an update from INEC. He put that up yesterday.
Okay, I'll check for that. What's the business of Nigerian police in this? What could be the woman's crime? Maybe cyberbullying or what? That someone claims a minister owes her for 12 years without showing signs of payment is now a crime? Is the minister claiming false allegations against him by this woman or what? David Umahi has had several investigated allegations against him, ranging from assault, land grabbing, non-payment of debt, etc. When will he be investigated? To ascertain the truth or bully the alleged victims of money and connection? Now the way forward. Will the poor ever get justice in Nigeria? What a country, Prince Will asks. This woman would think Showore is fighting for her, not knowing he's taking advantage of the case to fight Umahi and the federal government. He has always been that person, no problem. I hope she gets her money, Sha. Let it be. I'll come back to address that. Showore has done in one day more than what the mandate holder and the people standing on the mandate has done in 2026. Thank you for speaking up for the oppressed, sir.
Who is this?
Joseph Ibe. The next tweet.
Who are the mandate
Nikki
holders?
Lee,
I don't even know.
what's with the hand she raised up now? This is supposed to be a serious matter. They raise hand like it's a theater show. Are we in Fela's shrine? Probably.
That's not funny. And
Well, the
let's have
Foxy,
some empathy.
one thing we need to understand. Olive, you wanted to say something? Let me
There was a tweet earlier that, if we can go back, I think 2-3 tweets earlier, where the person had said, no, not this one. Let's go to the, okay. Now I've even forgotten the tweet. There was a Twitter. Yeah, no, the one just before this. The Showore one.
Yeah.
He said this woman would think Showore is fighting for her. Thank you. Not knowing he's taking advantage of the case to fight Umahi and the federal government. In this case, I would say that the end justifies the means. If he who comes to equity must come with clean hands, he that, if he has nothing to fear, then it's fine. If
Remember
there's
the
a case that,
of Raya.
Umahi has to defend, then he should defend the case. It's not about what side Showore is on. We can politicize this matter as much as we want. The most important thing we must look at first is that there's a life of a woman involved, and whether it's a man or a woman, there's a life of a Nigerian citizen
There's also
involved. There's a freedom,
accountability.
of the Nigerian citizen that is at risk, and there is accountability that needs to be demanded of a Nigerian leader that that is put in power in office to serve the citizens of Nigeria. Money claimed to be owed. There's so many breaches that
Conduct
we have occurred.
expected of an honorable minister. Yes.
Yeah.
And other
I think
things like
the
that.
point we should also take note of is the people in power today, do they feel that they owe you watching this program anything?
Nope.
That's it. They
Okay.
don't feel they owe you anything. Right.
Idris Onifade on YouTube says, this woman cannot be broken. I love her courage. These heartless people will keep making more activists who will eventually push them out of power. Okay, I think we can quickly run to our final story this morning for Wake Up Conversations, and this is in Rivers State. The governor of Rivers State, Simnalai Fubara, has sworn in the new chief of staff and the secretary to the state government. Fubara has dissolved his cabinet earlier this month, shortly after the peace deal brokered by President Tinubu between him and the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. During the swearing-in held at the Government House, Port Harcourt, Governor Fubara emphasized that the appointments are not political empowerment but strategic decisions aimed at ensuring the smooth running of the government. The governor affirmed and reaffirmed his commitment to sustaining peace in Rivers State, warning that his government will not compromise on any issue capable of eroding the state's stability.
Government is not for any political empowerment that you're appointed, you start raising or believing that you have a platform to abuse, insult, or create problem. It is an appointment to help this administration survive. Your duty is to represent the state in the most respectful way, bearing in mind that what is important to this administration now is to succeed. What is important to this administration is to see that the good works that we started, the ones that we met, we must conclude them in a way that will bring progress and development to our dear state. For the Chief of Staff for Government House, you're working under me. It's not a position that, as you're living here now, you start holding meeting, calling people without my permission. If you involve yourself in nocturnal meeting and all those things, I will sack you. I'm very serious. What is important to me today is peace, progress, and prosperity of this state.
The new
Say if they do
as he
anyhow.
says if they do anyhow, they will see anyhow. That's what he said.
So he dissolved his cabinet. Did he also dissolve the band members? Tinubu, they tell you something. Fubara.
No,
that means
no.
those guys are in the labor market.
No, he did not. He did not touch those guys.
Any
I mean,
members of his cabinet?
if they're in the labor market, both of
I
you
can
do MC,
confirm from
you can
from
employ them.
sources.
Oh my God. Let's see what Nigerians are saying about the story, the latest update in Rivers State. Benga.
Jogun says, what's the essence of Sim Fubara disgracing his chief of staff by reading him the Way-Out Act and talking to him down in public? He hasn't even started the job. You're already threatening him with sack. I will sack you. If I were the COS, I would submit my resignation letter immediately. No, seriously, there's a level of,
Ridiculous, ridicule.
dignity, yeah, that you, even our MD is not going to talk to any member of staff like that. Let alone a chief of staff. What a dishonorable something. Jay says, your chief of staff is supposed to be one. This English is hard in me.
Your chief of staff is supposed to be one of your most trusted allies. One who you can sleep with both eyes closed when he's nearby. But this one will be COS. Now Wike spy. Now what for Simo? Jay says, if he chose the COS, he wouldn't be reading that riot act for him in the first place. These appear to be part of the peace deal. Obviously, this guy doesn't have any loyal politician on his side, really. He's a political orphan. Hey! The fact that Fubara is not a politician is now in Ultra HD format. While what he was saying is real, it's not a matter for microphone. He clearly lacks diplomacy, confidence, and is highly insecure. A David behaving like a Saul. Wow.
Please,
The lost trust can never be again.
break that down for me?
David was the selected king by God. Saul was already ousted and rejected by God. But even though David was selected, he was behaving like someone that is rejected.
So where does Nebuchadnezzar come in this story?
Anyway, I have no comments to make
If you
in
watch
America.
if you watch to the end of that video, there's a part where he said, "I made mistakes in the past."
I would not make
time.
mistakes.
I will
Yeah,
not
I
make
agree.
mistake.
He said he was probably, he allowed a lot of things, but now he's not going to allow anything happening.
But that point,
And the chief of staff should not have meetings behind his back or invite people. That before he does that, he must call him and tell him, So that
Chief of staff or houseboy?
So that really clears that.
What's really going on here?
Barrister Sonny
that chief
Ewule
of
has
staff
his
was
hands
not
full.
picked by anyway.
Anyway, just
Let's
to
leave
say a
Rivers
huge
issue.
hearty from all of us here at Breakfast Central, hearty congratulations to the people of Rivers State and particularly to Barrister Sonny Ewule, who's the Chief of Staff in Rivers State, and Dr. Dagogo S.A. Wokoma, who's the Secretary to the
Please
State
help us
Government.
check on the mental health of Barrister Sonny.
Barrister Sonny will be just fine.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
They'll be just fine.
It's just a riot act in public.
Yeah, just letting them know that if you do
riot act.
anyhow, you will see anyhow.
First day of work.
All right, final comments. Is defamation a criminal matter? This is supposed to be civil. As such, there should be no attempt to hold her in prison. This is regarding the earlier story we took about David Umahi and the one accusing him. Let's now head to share with you what our top stories are as we go into the conversations proper this morning. Our top stories this morning on Breakfast Central. We're beginning in Ondo State. Great news. Governor Aiyedatiwa
That's my
has
state.
launched the emergency tricycle, that is Keke ambulance.
That's massive.
Reaction trails assassination attempt on Peter Obi, an ADC chieftain in Edo State. Opposition leaders demand review of Electoral Act. They're asking for more. The newspaper front pages will be reviewed, but we'll also be looking at the trial of Yelwata suspects. So we're still going to continue with the updates on that. We'll ask for your feedback as well when we open the phone lines for you to drop your comments on the newspaper review. Stay with us.
Bye-bye.